Hello students, welcome once again to GK's Applied Maths classes. Okay, already we have discussed in financial mathematics in the previous two videos about perpetuity, and I have solved the problems. I have put a separate video for perpetuity from handbook and perpetuity from ML Agarwal. Okay, in continuation of that, under financial mathematics class 12th, we are going to go to the next section of financial mathematics called sinking fund. Okay, I have already explained in my first video whether it is perpetuity or sinking fund, they are nothing but annuity, which you have studied in class 11th. A periodic payment that is made either at the beginning or at the end. So conditions change, ordinary annuity or annuity due. Okay, already you have done this in class 11th, and I also explained about it in my previous videos. So sinking fund is nothing but an annuity. So we are going to do introduction of sinking fund, and also I am going to solve every problem from CBSE handbook. Now the problem here is that about the calculation. There are two ways you can do the calculation. One is I am going to do the normal traditional way of using logarithms. So I will explain using logarithms, and I will also put a separate video for you where you can also get this calculation done using shortcuts and tricks. Okay, so that link I will be attaching it with this video, so you can do that. That is more like an approximation. It won't be exact, but it will be an approximation. Whereas using logarithm, 99% of the time your answer should match with the answer key that the CBSE is giving, because they also must be using logarithm. Calculators are not permitted. And also, again, I repeat, for applied maths, if you want to be successful, you should have patience and you should do the calculation till the end, even when you are practicing at home. With all these things, let us make a beginning. And I would also like to request you to subscribe to my channel and also to press the bell icon so that you get all notifications of videos that I post in future. Okay, I hope you will understand this chapter, and if you have any doubt, you can always put it in the comment box. Okay, so let's move on now. What is sinking fund? Watch this. Sinking fund is a fund created to accumulate money over the years to discharge future obligation. Suppose I want to educate my child, okay, who is going to go for higher education. Now the child may be in 6th standard or 7th standard. I wanted to educate my child, or I want to send my child abroad and educate the child. So for that you need money. You can't all of a sudden pump in that much of money. So what do? You plan it. You slowly accumulate certain amount of money over the period of time, okay, so that that money is utilized. Okay, that money is utilized when the child goes for higher education. So you are accumulating money just not randomly, but with a certain purpose in your mind, that you want to use this money, okay, for the future education of your child. So you are accumulating that money. So the money is accumulated with certain purpose in mind. So another example, suppose I have an industry where I have a machinery. That machinery will run for 10 years. After 10 years, I need to replace the machine. So what I should do? I can't all of a sudden take some money or loan and buy a new machinery. So what I will do? From my profit, I slowly accumulate certain amount of money every month or every 3 months or whatever be the period. I keep on accumulating the money, so that at the end of 10 years, okay, at the end of 10 years, when I want to buy a new machine, it won't be a burden for me. I can always take the money from there and utilize it and buy a new machinery. So it won't be it won't be a big portion on my budget. You understand? So a sinking fund is the fund created to accumulate money over the years, discharge a future obligation. So the fund can be created by putting a specific amount of money either at the end of the term or at the beginning of each term. Okay, there are two things: annuity due and annuity ordinary. Now I have given you some examples of sinking fund. Replacing an old machine by a new machine. For replacing old machine by a new machine. Renovation of a house. Suppose I have a house and I need to renovate after 20 years. All of a sudden I can't spend so much money on renovation. So what I will do, I will slowly accumulate some money with the mind that I will be using this money for renovating my house. Now, expansion of business, the same as replacing a machinery. You want to expand your business, okay? Accumulating money for your child's education. So these are some of the examples of a sinking fund, okay? Some of the examples of sinking fund. Now, what is the difference between a sinking fund and savings account? Now, the sinking fund, the money is accumulated to be used for a particular purpose at a particular time. Money is accumulated for a particular purpose and for a particular time. Whereas in savings account, you do accumulate the money, but you can use it for any purpose, any time. Okay, so there is a difference between sinking fund and savings account. Okay, I hope you understand the difference. Okay, now I want to find, now we need to calculate the present value, we need to calculate the future value and all that. I've given you the derivation. The derivation is not at all important, but I always believe that only if you know the derivation, things become clear. So for that, I have written the derivation. Just have a look at it and then we'll continue with the problem. Now look at this. Periodic payment is made. When it is made? Made at the end of each period. So at the end of each period, you make a periodic payment. In perpetuity, n was infinity, but here you have a specific period. You are going to stop after n years, okay, or n terms. Okay, and I want to know how much I accumulate. Okay, and the interest is I%. So what I do, at the end of first year, I put money R. I put a certain amount of money R. Now this money is going to be in business or going to be there for how long? It's going to be there for n months or n period. So amount will be, as you know, the compound interest formula. What is compound interest formula? Amount equal to principal into 1 plus I power n. Okay, same way, here this R is going to be there for n terms. Okay, from 1 to n minus 1. Okay, this is 0 to n, for 1 to n minus 1. So what is the amount you get? R into 1 plus I power n minus 1. See, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1 term. Correct? This is your principal, 1 plus I power n minus 1. This R is there for n minus 1 term. Now, what about this R2? If I want to calculate R2, it will be R into 1 plus I power n minus 2. So, if you keep repeating that process, what happens? This n at n minus 1, the money is going to be there for only 1 year. So, it is subject to interest for only 1 year. So, R into 1 plus I power 1. And finally, it is R. So, what is the total amount? Total amount will be R plus R into 1 plus I, A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to AN. So, I have got this. Now, what type of series? This is a geometric progression where the first term is R and the common ratio is 1 plus I. So, what is sum of n terms formula? A into R power n minus 1 by R minus 1. So, wherever A is there, put R. Wherever R is there, you put 1 plus I. So, what do you get? R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by 1 plus I minus 1. 1 and 1 gets cancelled. You get this. So, this is called the amount or future value of the sinking fund. Okay. So, the formula is very, very important. And I have also given you the derivation of the formula. If you understand the derivation, fine. If you don't understand, it doesn't matter. Don't forget the formula. It is basically calculating the amount at each and every period. So, A1, A2, A3, A4, En. If you add all of them, you get the total amount. Now, what if the amount is invested at the beginning? If the amount is invested at the beginning, you see, if it is at the beginning, it is going to be there for n. So, An is going to be R into 1 plus I power n. An minus 1 will be R into 1 plus I power n minus 1. Okay. So, now you add all the amounts. If you add all the amounts, you get R into 1 plus I power 1, R into 1 plus I power n minus 2, R into 1 plus I power, and so on. So, you see A2 will be R into 1 plus I the whole square. So, I keep adding all the amounts. See, R into 1 plus I, R into 1 plus I whole square, and so on. Now, this is again a geometric progression. The formula is A into R power n minus 1 by R minus 1. So here my A will be R into 1 plus I, and my common ratio will be 1 plus I. Now use the formula A into R power n minus 1 by R minus 1. Now what happens? Open the bracket. So do you get R into 1 plus I power n plus 1. This is power 1, right? So n plus 1 minus 1 minus I. Now what do? You can just split this. When you split this, you get R into 1 plus I power n plus 1 minus 1 by I, and I by I is 1. So this is the formula. This is a formula for finding the amount when you make the periodic payment, not at the end but at the beginning. If it is at the end, this is the formula. R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I. If it is at the beginning, then it is R into 1 plus I power n plus 1 minus 1 by I minus 1. Okay, so know the difference. And finally, we also talk about the present value. There is no question given in the NCERT book, but I thought I will tell you. So the present value, like what we did for perpetuity, the present value, when you invest the money at the end of every term, your amount equal to principal into 1 plus I power n. So you want to find the present value. The present value will be A by 1 plus I power n. So here my A will be R. That is the amount I put here. So this is going to be in the business for 1 year, for one term. So R into 1 plus I power 1. Now this is going to be there for 2 years. So R into 1 plus I the whole square. So this is going to be there for only 3 years. 1, 2, 3 years. So R into 1 plus I the whole cube. So similarly for n terms. Now if you add all the present value, P1 plus P2 plus P3 up to Pn, this is a geometric progression. I'm going to use this formula because common ratio is going to be a fraction. What is sum? A into 1 minus R power n by 1 minus R. So I use the formula there. A is R by 1 plus I, 1 minus R power n by 1 minus R. So what happens? This 1 plus I power n can be taken up. You get 1 plus I power minus n. And I take the LCM. 1 gets cancelled. So you get I by 1 plus I. So these two gets cancelled. So the formula is R into 1 minus 1 plus I power minus 1 by I. This is how you calculate the present value of an annuity. So you have basically 3 formulas. In the NCERT book, most of the questions are based on payment made at the end. When you are making a payment at the end, the formula is R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I. If it is in the beginning, it is R into 1 plus I power n plus 1 minus 1 by I minus 1. And this is the present value. There is no problem. For this, you have a question in the NCERT book called example 8. Okay, there's only one question, example that we will discuss. Okay. Now this is the present value that you calculate. The previous two were calculating the amount, whereas the last one is calculating the present value where the payment is made at the end of the period. Okay. Okay. Now let's start with the problem. This is the first question that we are going to do. Okay, I have a reference also for the calculation, otherwise it will take time to do. So let us see what best we can do with this. If you need 20,000 for your daughter's education, if you need 20,000, I need 20,000 for your daughter's education, how much must you set aside? How much money you should keep aside each quarter for 10 years to accumulate this amount? For 10 years, you have to put the money so that it accumulates to this amount at the rate of 6% per annum, 6% compounded quarterly. Okay, so what is given here? I have to get this amount. This is going to be my amount. So what is my amount? My amount is 20,000. My amount is 20,000. And what is the rate of interest? Rate of interest is 6 by 400. Why 400? Actually 6 by 100, since it is quarterly, I divided by 4. So which is nothing but 1.015. 1.015. Actually, say 3 by 2 is 1.5, and it divided by 100 becomes 1.015. Okay. 0.015. Now, what is N? N is 10 years, but it's quarterly. So 10 into 4, which is 40. Am I clear with this? Okay, now I'm going to use the formula. What is the formula? Amount equal to r into 1 plus I power n minus 1 divided by I. Now what is A? A is 20,000. Let's go a little slowly. Equal to R into 1.015. Why it is 1.015? 1 plus this, 1 plus I, whole power 40 minus 1 divided by 0.015. Are you clear with this? Now you cross multiply. When you cross multiply 2000 with 0.015, you get 300 equal to R into, already this value will be given to you in the exam. 1.015 is 1.8140 minus 1. This will be given to you. Okay. So what is R equal to? 300 divided by 0.814. Correct? Now how do I do this calculation? I am going to use logarithm. I believe that is the safest thing to do. I will also put a video on how you can get these things without touching calculator, without using logarithm, how you can use shortcut. But since this is an official thing, I don't want to do shortcuts here. We'll do the normal way. I'll put the shortcut. You decide what you want to do. Okay. Now this is log r. Taking log on both sides is nothing but log of 300. I assume that you know logarithm from class 11 minus log of 0.814. Since it's a 3-digit number, the characteristic will be 2. So log r equal to 2. Log of 3 is 4771. Okay, 4771 minus, what is the log? Here since it's 0 point, it will be bar 1 point. Log of 814 will be 9106. You can always check the log table. I don't have time for those things, so I already have these values with me, so I'm just using it. Now when you subtract, maybe you have a difficulty in subtraction, that I will explain. 2.4771 minus bar 1.9106. Now how do I subtract? Borrow 1, you get 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so it's 5. So this will be 6. 6 minus 0 is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. Here you can't subtract, so I borrow 1 from here. So what do you get? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that is 5. So since you have borrowed 1, you have only 1 there. So it's 1 minus of, we are subtracting, right? Minus of minus 1. 1 minus of bar 1. 1 minus of minus 1. What will be that? It's 2. Correct? So this will be log r equal to 2.5665. Now I need to take anti-log. R equal to anti-log of 2.5665. Now you know how to look at the anti-log. You have to look at 5665. Anti-log of 5665 is 3685. Is 3685. Since it is 2, characteristic is 2, it should be a 3-digit number. So approximately I got the answer as 369. Whereas the book answer is 373.6. It doesn't matter because they must have used calculator. This is using logarithm. Logarithm defines only for 4 decimal places. So this is how it should be done. I hope the logarithm part is also clear. This is the very safest thing to do, where if you have a log table with you, they will give it in the exam. If you have a log table with you, use the log, get the answer. That is very simple. If you practice like this in your house, then definitely you won't have much difficulty in using logarithm in the exam also. Okay. Now let's go to the next question. I hope you understood the previous one. Now, to save for child's education, a sinking fund is created to have 1 lakh at the end of 25 years. So my amount, I need 1 lakh for the child's education. So it is 1 lakh. At the end of 25 years, how much money should I retain out of profit each year for the sinking fund if the investment earns me an interest of how much? 4 by 100. 4 by 100 is 0.04. Here I don't have to divide by anything because it is per annum. And the number of years also will remain as 25. So what is the formula? Amount equal to R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I. Always make sure you write the formula in the exam. When you're writing the exam, you will get some marks even if you make mistakes, So amount equal to 1 lakh equal to R into 1.04 power 25 minus 1 divided by, what is I? 0.04. Now what you do is just cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, what will you get? You will get 4,000. Am I right? 4,000 equal to R into, I have given 1.04.25 as what is 2.6658. Okay, 2.6658. So what do you get? 2.6658. So R equal to 4,000 divided by 1.6658. Okay. Now I have to take logarithm. How do I take logarithm? Log R equal to log of 4,000 minus log of 1.6658. This is a 4-digit number, so the characteristic is 3, and log 4 value is 6021 minus 0 point, characteristic is 0 because it's a single digit number, 1-digit number, so 0 point. Here you can look at 1666, you can round it off to 4 decimal places. You have to look at 1666. 1666. You convert this 8 to 10 so that it becomes 1 here. Am I clear? So when you take log of that, it will be 2217. 2217. I have done the calculation, so 2217. Now I need to subtract this. How do I subtract? 3.6021 minus 0.2217. Okay. Now I want to subtract this. What do I get? This is 408. 5 means 3. So you get 3.804. 3.3804. So my R will be anti-log of what? 3.3804. 3804. Now you look at anti-log of 3804. The anti-log of 3804 will be 2401. Since it is 3, it has to be 4 decimal places. So I will keep it here. So it is 2401. 2401. This is your R. Your book answer is given as 2408.19. It doesn't matter because we have used logarithm, which is accurate for 4 decimal places. They must have used the calculator, which is accurate for I don't know how many decimal places. So this is safer. Okay. This is what I think the answer key will be there for the examiner, because you are not allowed to use calculator in the exam. Is it clear? The book must have used the calculators. I hope this is clear to you. Now let's go to the next question. Now look at this. This is slightly different. Okay. A machine costs 1 lakh and its effective life. The machine actually costs 1 lakh. Its effective life is estimated as 12 years. The sinking fund is created for replacing the machine by a new model at the end of its lifetime when its scrap realizes 5,000. So I am throwing away my old machine. When I throw that old machine, my scrap value is 5,000. So that means from the old machine, I already have 5,000. Okay. So, but I need 1 lakh to invest in the new machine. Since I already have 5,000, my amount will be 1 lakh, and you already have 5,000. So you subtract that. So that will give you, you just have to spend only 95,000 to buy the new machine. Okay. Now, The amount is set aside. And what is the interest? The interest is 5%. So that is 0.05. Now for how many years? You want to replace it after 12 years. So n is 12. And since it is per annum, I am not going to multiply it by anything. I'll just leave it as it is. So what's the formula? Amount equal to R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I. Right? So now, what is a 95,000? When, see, this is also very at the end of each year. Okay, at the end of each year means I have to use this formula. So this is R into, always read the question carefully. That is also very, very important. It is 1.05 to the power 12 minus 1 divided by 0.05. Now you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, what will I get? I will get 4,750. I have done the calculation, so I think if I sit and multiply it will take time, so I am just doing it. It's normal multiplication. Equal to R into 1.05 power 12. What is the value? 1.7958 minus 1. So my R will be 4750 by 0.757958. Correct? Now you take log. So log R equal to log of 4750 minus log of 0.7958. Now what is log of 4750? The log of 4750 is 6767. Since it's a 4-digit number, the characteristic is 3. Okay? And the log of 7958 will be bar 1 point. If you take this, this is 9008. I think now you understood subtraction, I hope, hopefully. Otherwise, you refer to the previous problem. So when you subtract, you get 2.5969. 2.5969. This is log R. So what is R equal to? Anti-log of 2.5969. So look at anti-log of 5969. When you look at anti-log of 5969, what do I get? I think I didn't do the calculation. I think you get something like 5968. 5971 I'm getting. Since it is for two point, I have to put a decimal point. Okay. So I hope this is not correct. I think this is actually, I made a mistake here. Better I do the subtraction. I'm sorry. This will be, I think there's something wrong. 6767 minus bar 1.9008. 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 9. This is 5, 7, 9 point. This is 2. 2 minus all is 3. It's okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15, 16. This is 7. So this should be 3.7759. Now take anti-log. R equal to anti-log of 3.7759. You take anti-log of 7759, I think you should get something like 5971, 3 decimal places. Okay, so there's some problem with the subtraction. I think you can understand that. The essence of the problem is clear. Only this last part, you be very careful about calculation. Okay, but the book answer is 5968.8 or something. Again, I repeat, it's because of the calculator. So if you're using logarithm, it's fine. I also tell you how to do this calculation without using logarithm, without using calculator. That I will put it as a separate video. Okay. Now the ninth question is exactly similar to the previous question. Suppose a machine is costing 50,000 and it is to be replaced after 10 years. It will have a salvage value. Salvage value means it's a scrap value is 5,000. Okay, and the interest is 8% quarterly. Okay, so what I should do at the end of each year? These are the terms that I am looking for. Okay, everything is clear. All my data is clear now. At the end, it means it's the previous time. So amount equal to 50,000 minus 5,000. What is that? 45,000 is the amount. Correct? Now what is my interest? My interest is 8 by 4 into 100, which is 0.02, and n is 40. Why it is 40? 10 into 4, which is 40, because it is for quarterly. Now what's the formula? Amount equal to R into 1 plus I power n minus 1 by I. Now what is the amount? It's 45,000 equal to R into 1.02 to the power 40 minus 1 divided by, what is I? 0.02. Okay. Now you cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you get 900. Clear? 45 into 2 is 90. And adjust the decimal place, you'll get it. R into, already this value is given to you, which is 2.208. So it will be 2.208 minus 1. So this will be R as 900 by 1.208. Okay. Now you can use the calculator, use logarithms and do the necessary calculation. So what is this? Log of 900 minus log of 1.208. What is log of 900? It is actually 2.9542 minus 0. Because one decimal is 0.1208 is 0.819. So when you subtract them, I think I'm getting 2.8723. This is log R. So what is R equal to? Anti-log of 2.8723. Now what is anti-log of 8723? I'm getting 7452. 7452, since it is 2 point, it has to be after 2 decimal places. So this is the answer, but the book answer is 745. Again I repeat, because of the calculator there is a difference. Otherwise your answer is perfectly correct. Don't worry about it at all. Okay. So I hope you understood. We have completed all the questions from handbook. Now I want to just talk about one more question. This is example 8 in your handbook, where this word is important for me. Beginning of each year. So it is something different from what we have done till now. Okay. So the amount is 1 lakh. Amount is 1 lakh. Correct. And my rate of interest is 12%. Which is 0.12, and the number of years is 10. Now what is the formula? Amount equal to R into 1 plus I power n plus 1 minus 1 by I minus 1. They have used in the book annuity factor and all, but they don't give it in the exam. So always better to do the calculation. So this is 1 lakh equal to R into 1.12 power 11 minus 1 by 0.12 minus 1. Okay. So now what happens? This is 1 lakh equal to R into, what is 1.12 power 11? It is 3.4785. 4785 minus 1 by 0.12 minus 1. This is 1 lakh equal to R into, this is 2.12 2.4785 minus 0.12 by 0.12. Now you cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you get the answer as 12,000 equal to R into, if you subtract this, I think you can do 2.4785 minus 0.1200. So 8, sorry, this is 5, 8, 5, 3, so 2585. 2.3585. So what is R equal to? 12,000 by 2.3585. I think you can use the log. I'm not going to do that. You can complete it. So answer is 5087.97. Okay. So this is only one problem that is given in the handbook, which is different from all other problems where the payment, periodic payment, is made at the end. Only this problem is given in the book where the periodic payment is made at the beginning, and I have used the appropriate formula for that. Okay. So with that, we are going to stop. If you notice, in every problem I have completely written the steps where we have talked about taking log and doing the calculation, which is, to me, is the right way to do. But you can also have the shortcuts, which I will put in the subsequent video. I will actually attach the link of that trick along with this video. Okay. I hope this was very useful to you. In the next video, I am going to do sinking fund from ML Agarwal also. So we will do from handbook as well as from ML Agarwal, so that you're clear about everything, and mostly questions should come around this, either from a handbook or from ML Agarwal. So I hope this video was very, very useful to you. Please do subscribe to my channel, and also to click the bell icon to get all notifications of future videos. Have a nice day. Okay. Bye-bye.